Okay, so we talked about how to apply top-end filters to things like table and matrix visuals that show lists of items, but how would a top-end filter work if you applied it to something like a text card? In this demo, I'm going to show you exactly how that works and why it's such a valuable technique. So here in the Exec Dashboard tab, let's go ahead and grab a simple card visual and drag it down beneath our matrix. Now what I want to do here is include two card visuals, one to show the single most ordered product type or subcategory, and a second card to show the single most returned product subcategory. So this card visual should do the trick. It's very simple to build, just takes one argument or input, which is the field option. This is where I'm going to grab my product subcategory name from the subcategory lookup table. And now you'll notice that by default, it shows the first subcategory name. So Power BI essentially pulls the first item in alphabetical order and displays that one by default. Because remember, card visuals can only show a single item as opposed to a list. And it's pretty unlikely that you actually want to use the card in this way, right? You typically won't care about showing the first alphabetical item. You'd rather show the top item based on some sort of numerical field or metric. And that's exactly the role that top-end filters are designed to play here. So let's select our card, let's look at our filter pane, and note that we already have an instance of subcategory name shown here, but we can't access those additional filter options. If you notice this behavior, just jump into your data pane, pull in another instance of that field, in this case subcategory name, and now we can access those additional filters. In this case, we want top N, and because again, the card can only show one item at a time, let's select the top one item by total orders. This is going to show us the most ordered product subcategory when we apply this filter. There we go. So we get tires and tubes instead of that default first alphabetical item. So we're in good shape. Now let's go ahead and do some formatting on this card. First thing I want to do is add a background, kind of that dark gray. I'm going to use the bright blue font to make that top subcategory really pop here. So let's go ahead to call out value. We'll use Sego UI bold, and let's drop the font size down to about a 14 and change the color to that bright blue. So that looks good for call out value. This category label where it says first subcategory name, really don't need a label right there. We could change that to something like most ordered product type, but I actually want my title above the visual and outside of this gray background. So what I'm going to show you in a second is a little workaround to use text boxes to add a custom title. But for now, my visual format looks good. All I need to do is kind of resize things a bit here, like so. I'm going to drag it down, and let's just kind of nudge it into place like so. Now again, this is kind of lacking context. You don't know exactly what you're looking at here. So I'm going to add a text box, and I'm going to drag that down above my card. And the text here is just going to say most ordered product type, colon. It's already Sego UI size 10, which matches with our chart titles. So that looks good. And we can just kind of nudge this and resize it into place as a card title here. Go into visual, turn off the background to make it overlap a little bit. And I think that looks pretty good. Now, next step is basically repeat the process, but for the most returned product subcategory in terms of return rate. So simplest option here is to shift click both these objects, Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and we'll just kind of nudge them both into place. It can be a little bit awkward to move these objects, but I think something like this looks pretty good. And now all we need to do is modify that title. So instead of most ordered, now we're talking about the most returned product type. And if we change the top end filter, all we're going to do is remove total orders and instead drop in return rate. And when we do that, we should see the value change. In this case, the most returned product type or subcategory is shorts. And now just like any other visual, you can filter this. You can see the most ordered products among accessories, tires and tubes, and hydration packs. For bikes, most ordered is road bikes, most returned is touring bikes. For clothing, and so on and so forth. So feel free to kind of tweak things get your alignment, get your styling right. And this should just about wrap up all of the design work for our exec summary tab. So next up, you've got a quick assignment to practice cards on your own. And then we're going to shift gears and start building out some of these additional report pages in our dashboard. Stay tuned.